We need periods of self-examination, times where we look into the recesses of our soul, to look into the depths of our heart and find out exactly what's there. Today's exercise is from a book called A Work of Heart by Reggie McNeil. And I have found it very impactful in my own life, and I hope that you will as well. So let's walk through this exercise, find a nice quiet place, have about 15-20 minutes to be able just to set aside for this, and let's do some introspection. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take a few deep breaths. We're going to calm our soul. We're going to clear our minds and just be. This is not about clearing away the clutter. This is about examining what your life is all about. Now take a moment to pray. So ask God for clarity. Ask God for wisdom. And ask God for courage, that as you explore the recesses of your heart, that you will be honest with yourself about what it is you find when you get there. I'll give you just a minute to do that. If you want to hit pause and take a few extra minutes, that's fine too. Now imagine that your heart is as big as your house. And imagine walking up and seeing your heart standing there in front of you. The heart that's inside your chest, with all these compartments, these 4 cavities that are part of your heart. And you walk in, and let's just say that it's illuminated where you can see everything. As you walk into the first room, it's the room of your character, both good and bad, positive and negative, the good things about you and the tough things about you. It's all packed in there. You can walk around, feel the size of the room, look up, look down, and examine what's there. Turn over everything that you find, poke around and see exactly who you are. You'll find a corner of the room where your better qualities are kept. This may be a place you want to hang out for a while, to self-indulge and just think about, wow, there are some really good things about myself. Truly, there are some blessings. Don't be ashamed or afraid to spend some time there, to be thankful for it. Take a moment to kneel in prayer in your mind's eye, this cavity of your heart, to thank God for the good things about you. Take a moment, just take some deep breaths and consider, what is it about you that is admirable? What is it about you that is good? What is it about you that God is so pleased with? Well, we continue our journey of our character. We go to another corner of the room. We find another stack of stuff. We begin sorting through those pages. We begin finding things that are a bit more difficult to look at. These are the darker sides of ourself. Some of these things are known to you. You know when you look through that pile what you're going to find. There may be some things in that pile that you expect to find that aren't there. They've actually been healed. They've actually been reconciled. You just haven't moved on yet. There's a third category of things that you're going to find in this pile, and that is the things that you didn't expect to see. These are your blind spots. These are the things that either no one knows about you and you don't know about yourself. People know about you, but you don't know about yourself, or just the things that only God alone knows. And you will not be able to discover everything that's in this pile. But I want you to sort through it anyway. I want you to see yourself clearly for exactly who you are. And this may take a moment just to pause, to take a deep breath, to even stop for a moment and sit, weep, consider the difficult parts of your life, of your character, and ask God to help you with that. This is not a beat up yourself guilt session. This is just coming in tune with reality. Now, when you feel comfortable in your mind's eye to stand up, walk into the other cavity, the next cavity over. This is the cavity of your heart that is about relationships. You move from yourself and your character now to others. Who stands out to you in this room? Who's missing? Who did you expect to see who doesn't show up? Who are you noticing in your mind's eye who you didn't expect to see there? Take careful notice of who you find. Consider why they're coming into your mind's eye. Is it because there is reconciliation that needs to take place? Maybe you need to say you're sorry. Is it because this person brings you great joy? Is it because this person is a tremendous thorn in your side? Take note of the people you find in the second room. And thank God for all of them. Even our enemies. We love our enemies. Pray for those who persecute us. Take a moment, as we did in the first room, to pray. Pray for who you see and pray for who you don't see. Thank God for the relationships that are life-giving. Thank God for the relationships that are an absolute pain in the behind. Take a moment and pray about that. And pause this if you need to. When you're ready, walk into the third room. This third room has a timeline around the top. This third room has a video that is playing of your life. This is your life story. The difference between what you think your life story is and the life story that's playing on the big screen in room 3 is that the story that is playing on the big screen in room 3 is accurate. It is down to the finest detail. The story we tell ourselves about our life does not get that much definition. There are stories we've told ourselves that are just not so. There are details we leave out to make ourselves look better. There are times of humility where we actually look quite good, but we beat ourselves up. Don't take the compliment. It's all there. It's all to be seen. This is your life story. So take a moment to reflect on your life. And consider the times when you notice God working the hardest. So I want us to take a moment and consider that. If you need to hit pause, hit pause. As you watch this story unfold, who are you? Where have you come from? What difficulties have you passed through? What blessings have you experienced that maybe you've been ungrateful for? What blessings have you experienced that you've thanked God for? What chapter of your life are you in when the movie comes to a stop and it ends today, in this moment? Where is your life heading? This trajectory of this movie on the wall plays out. Where is your life headed? Are you pleased with where your life is headed? Is God pleased with where your life is headed? If you were to walk into this room 10 years from now, how would room 1 be different? Your character. How would room 2 be different? your relationships? What new people might you find in room 2? What new aspects of your character might you find in room 1? And what sort of transformative work will God need to be doing that you will need to yield to see all that take place? Just take a moment and pray about that. Hit pause if you need to. And so we're ready to walk into room 4. In room 4, we find Jesus. He's sitting there waiting for you. And he has a seat prepared for you. We can sit with Jesus, knees to knees, face to face, full embrace, absolute acceptance, love and mercy. And as he looks into your eyes and you look into his eyes, what is it you see about Jesus? I want you to consider that for a moment. And when Jesus looks into your eyes, what does Jesus see about you? Now, depending on your personality, you might pull out negative things. Well, he sees my sin. He sees. Let's be honest and fair. He sees all that. But let's not be one-sided with that. All good, narcissistic, or all bad self-flagellation. Who is Jesus looking at, and what does Jesus think about you? And does that thought bring you joy? Or does that thought bring you fear? And I want you just to sit with him for a moment in silence, with some deep breaths. And after a few moments, Jesus opens his mouth and he has something to say to you. What does he say? As you and Jesus both stand up and embrace, and he pats you on the back and he speaks some words in your ear, he allows you to leave, to walk back through room 3, back through room 2, back through room 1, back outside of your heart, to shut the door, and to carry on with your life. Self-examination is so good for the soul. To know and to be known, to see yourself clearly, to look yourself each morning in the mirror, preparing yourself for the day, and to see yourself as God sees you as closely as you can. What a blessing that is. What a blessing. You are a blessing. And where God is going to take you remains to be seen, but he is good and he is faithful, and he will form your character. He will influence your relationships. And there is not a frame of the movie, at 24 frames a second, in which God is not present. And that will be true all that is to come. So that when you visit with Jesus and you sit knee to knee, face to face, eye to eye, and deep and loving conversation and silence, you will understand what it means to know yourself and to allow others to truly know you. God loves you, I love you, and I appreciate you watching this. God bless.